Hey guys, what is up? My name's Jerry. I'm an alumnus of Batch 2017 and currently I'm an incoming 4th year in the Ateneo taking up AB Communication. A lot of you, especially if you're not in college, you're probably bored right now because you can't really go anywhere and perhaps you don't have a lot of things to do at home, right? So if ever you're looking for something to do while being stuck in this quarantine, I've compiled a couple of things that I've learned after graduating from high school, and today through this short video I'd like to talk a little about how you can document history on your own through photojournalism. At this point, some of you might be wondering, can we really practice photojournalism on our own without much background knowledge in photography? Now I know this may sound kind of far and irrelevant, but before I answer that question and before I get to the topic of photojournalism, I'd like you to first think about this. Is history objective? If history is objective, then all the colonizers and invaders that were portrayed through the history books, they'll just be villains, because they once tried to conquer the lands that belong to this nation and its people. But don't forget that the time before the Spaniards discovered the Philippines, that's called the prehistoric period, simply because little to no written documents about how life was like back then were found. As in literally nothing was recorded at all. Heck, it isn't even sure if the hero that killed Magellan was actually called Lapu-Lapu or not, because the only trace of him was found in the written documents of this person named Pigafetta, who was part of Magellan's crew. And if I remember my college lectures correctly, Pigafetta was busy running away, running back to the ship, when he heard something like "See Lapu-Lapu" among the chaos of the battle. So you see, even Lapu-Lapu's name is debatable because it's only based on what Pigafetta was able to hear. So what am I trying to say here? I'm just saying that history isn't 100% objective, and sometimes it isn't even 100% reliable and accurate simply because it's all written by people. The history lessons that we've had, those are definitely just few of the many things that have happened in the past, because history is only parts of the past that people were able to record. At this point, perhaps some are starting to understand what I'm trying to say. Photojournalism is a tool that can document history. It's a way for you to tell your story and for you to express yourself. Years later, for the people in the future to really understand what we've been through today, I personally like to think that photos can perhaps do a better job in telling the story than their future history books. Photojournalism is about telling your story. So even if you don't know much about photography, that's okay, you can still make it work. Just grab your phone if you don't have a camera, and every now and then, just look out for the things that became the new normal. Like these photos, for example, showing empty streets as I jogged at night. There was literally no one else besides me and my shadow. And these other two photos, for example, which showed the idea of isolation from the world outside, as you can only see it from the inside. So that's really what that's really what photography is all about. It's just about telling your story, or the story of what's been happening around you. As I end, I'd just like to ask, in this quarantine, what became the new normal for you? And years later, how will you tell today's story to the future generations? So yeah, let's hope for the best for the world, that this pandemic will be over soon. I hope that you guys were able to get something from this video. I hope that I was able to show and explain the importance or the meaning behind documenting your life, especially in the time of this quarantine. So if ever anyone actually wants to talk more about photography or talk more about photojournalism, I'm just one message away on Facebook. And for now,